I got a copyright strike.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's my fault. I should have seen this one coming because I
What did
like
you do?
so I split up my live streams on YouTube using like the raw panels. So I kind of had a feeling that was gonna happen eventually, but I got my first
Wait.
strike. What's up?
Ooh, hold on. I've been hearing someone got one of my mutuals got copyright striked on TikTok.
Ooh, not TikTok.
Yeah, copyright claim. TikTok doesn't have the strikes, I guess, but YouTube strike is significant. So wait, you had your live stream and you just had the panels up, and then that got striked?
Yes, but I mean, not the live stream. It's the video I uploaded to everybody publicly afterwards.
Uh-huh.
It was like a snippet of the live stream. So
And
that
that
got
got
striked.
striked?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think that's fine. And plus, I can still
Wait, did you just like
monetize.
did you s- wait, you can still monetize through a strike, but you can't through a claim? What?
So when you get a strike, you can't. So YouTube's weird. So like when you get a strike, you can't monetize on that video because it
Uh-huh.
gets taken down, obviously. For
Right.
a claim, you can't do the same. But the thing is, the strike is the one that's like, oh, the no. If you get like a lot of those, then
Right.
your channel's deleted.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Whereas a
you're
claim, it
okay,
doesn't really matter.
for the strike though, you got striked because you just ran through like the entire chapter on the screen.
Oh yeah. So it's not like I didn't know I was playing with fire.
So here's the thing. If you so I this is hairy, but someone got copyright striked for a short, which is like wild. Like
Yeah. You never know,
and but
man.
but they appealed it, and it cleared up in a week. And so in this case, if it was the recent chapter, the thing is, it's interesting the way Viz does this, but when they release a chapter, for the first 3 weeks that it's out, it is
It's
free,
fair
which means
game.
it's public domain, which means they can't copyright strike
So here's
that.
the thing. I'm like 95% sure it's a fake copyright strike.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
appeal it. And
Yes.
plus,
Okay, good.
I'm in contact with other creators who have been striked by the same person. So I'm also so
Ah.
I emailed a couple of them. I messaged some of them and I was like, hey, like, did your counter notification work? Because if so, I'm just gonna do it too. Because
Yeah.
it seems fake. It's like you know I can sniff the BS and it's like yeah, it's not bad. I have nasal
That's
issues and you know I can't smell really well and it's
yeah.
like you know even I can smell this one.
Yeah, that's like it. I think
But as long as I can get monetized, like I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna get more strikes within the 90 days. I'm chill.
yeah. I mean, like it's good that that's there. I was gonna say because you would have to take care of it in the first 3 weeks if it was real. But then, so if because it's not real, like that's actually a really good segue into some topics that I want to talk about, which is social media related. But like it's just like being a content creator. I mean, yeah, the space that we're in, it's kind of finicky, right? It's interesting because outside of Japan, most of not most, but like a lot of these what were the entertainment, like the shows, like people who cover that, do commentary on that, they don't the US doesn't go crazy on that, which is interesting. And they even encourage it in a lot of cases because it's just more traction, more people talking about it. I mean, there's been so many people who literally on my TikTok shorts and be like, you know what, I'm gonna try One Piece, you know. And then that's like, it's just crazy to me that they like I just spoiled I'm doing anime current stuff, and I kind of just tell everybody who's like on my thing, like, hey, like if you're not caught up with the show, maybe don't watch like content on the internet about said show if you care about spoilers, right? If you don't care, you don't care. But like you know, and so like a lot of people end up like, hey, I'm gonna finally give this a try because I really liked what I heard in this is a cool concept. You know, I wasn't aware of this. And that goes for a lot of shows. I feel like there's so many times where I hear someone got into a show because of a content creator or a specific review that they stumbled on, or a podcast or that kind of thing. And with this case, it's so interesting because like Japan, I think is like I actually had a conversation with a group of creators recently about this topic, and from everything that we heard, um, or everything that was discussed, it was like, yeah, the companies that we deal with that are the official sources, they haven't done anything like for the last like 3 to 4 years. So anything that's kind of like what you're dealing with is probably like a fake situation. And it's like so crazy that some random dude, person, entity could just be like, I don't even know what to call it, but like doing that, like having that much power in that case, and there's no real protection on our side. Like I would almost, like I'm sure like what, like H3 like Ethan Klein, like he went through like fair use stuff, but I don't think there was ever like, I don't even know if it's like a unionization or whatever, but like some kind of like, hey, I would give up if every YouTuber gave up like $1, we could probably fund like an entity that would protect us. You know what I mean? Like I'd be fine if I got siphoned $1 so that like, hey, if some random like dude decide to copyright strike me, I wouldn't have to go through like the legal headache it is to like deal with that, because it can be a legal headache, especially when it comes to like even copyright claims. Like if I wanted to claim like if someone copied my video, which is a thing, like on your YouTube studio, if you guys don't know, there's like a copyright part where people, like if someone just takes your video and re-uploads it, you get notified and it tells you like what percent of your video gets taken. And so believe it or not, a lot of my shorts have been taken, and I just kind of like watch like, hey, oh, this guy like 3 views or 4 views. And
do you ever take them down or no?
No, because
I never do.
I can't at the moment,
Yeah.
and I don't want to. Because in order to follow through with that, you have to give identifying details. And and that's another thing that's like, bro, like where is my protections? Like that how can they, like anybody can do that and they can fish you, which now that I'm like saying this, but this isn't like new, like if you were really like a douche noggin, you would figure this out on your own. And the thing is, like, all that you have to really do, or what I'm gonna do, is just like get like an official entity behind my stuff and tie an address to that, and then keep like a veil in front of it, which is what you're supposed to do. But you can't expect like small creators to do, like, have all those things. There's already like small creators should be focusing on like making content, because that's like, you know, in order to do stuff or stay in the space, it's like you can't worry about those other things. And it's such a fragile existence, and it's so scary once you're here, knowing like how fragile it is, because you know it's fragile, but then like you start hearing stories, you start getting to know people who've experienced it, and then you just hear like what the platforms are doing. It's like, yeah, they don't really like, you know, care necessarily.
It'd be like that. It's all good.
Yeah, like it sounds like, oh, like you know, it's like every I guess industry has its gripes, right? Like it's just this one kind of just like, it feels like nobody, you know what it's like? It's like you know, on like TikTok or whatever, people are like getting to beef with each other, and then like the person gets doxxed, or like a bad video gets like goes viral, and then the person gets like immediately fired from their job, right? It's crazy how much power there is there, where it's like sometimes like you don't even get like a chance to defend yourself. Like the video goes viral, they cut it out of context, right? And now your workplace just fires you.
Do you have any videos like that? Like if I were to go back in time and like look through all of your videos, would there be like something that's just incriminating, or like that could get you canceled? Because I don't think I have any, minus like one video that I think would be a great meme.
Like on this channel, or
it's on my previous one. There's a video of me like coming into socks.
Yes, yeah. See,
the cum sock video, I feel like that could be taken out of context, but you don't really like, you know, you don't see me doing anything, so it's like.
But I also feel like, as crazy as it sounds, like that's something that like sponsors wouldn't. Not that like imagine you were like a million. Want that? No. I don't think they would care.
Oh,
like,
okay,
like,
thank God.
Like
I would love to have my product right next to a guy jizzing in a sock.
I think you would sooner get sponsored by sock companies than get taken down
Hey,
from your...
I spoke the good word of wool socks.
like
Wool socks are A1. Every other socks, not really a hit. Especially the ones that are dry fit. Those are the worst.
it's because like I'm just thinking like in a hypothetical, you're sponsored by Adidas, Nike, whatever.
Yeah.
And that video gets resurfaced 10 years later, like some like viewers it's like, oh, I hate Psy, I'm gonna take him down, look at this video. And then there's like, do you see this guy, he comes in a sock? And then like what comes from that? Like there's gonna be like...
Exactly. Like I'm gonna I'm gonna be smiling from cheek to cheek, be like, oh, I forgot about that one. Now that's golden, huh?
Yeah. And then like I'm guarantee you,
that one up for a reason.
Even if dudes think it's weird, like I think like all dudes are like, yeah, I knew a guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
know, and then
I think it's a good meme.
And then on with girls too, it's kind of just like, that's weird, but that's not like a bad thing. It's like, does he do the laundry? And you're like, yeah, I do my own laundry. And then they're like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
See,
like,
here's the thing. People look at that sock coming video and they're like, man, this guy's wild. And then they see my other videos and like, oh, I think he was just memeing. You know what I mean? It's not like my whole personality is like, oh, let me see. Like, I'm not like shaking a little bit every time I see a sock, or I don't start shambling when I'm in the sock store. So,
yeah,
like, I'm a regular person. I had a theory, and like any great adventurer and theorist, I ventured out a little bit to see what was up.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything like that on...
But I'm sure you have, like... Right?
What?
Are
you asking about the sock thing?
Yeah, like I feel like every guy has. I feel like I was the last one to the party, actually.
It was funny. I saw a TikTok recently where this guy, comedian, proclaims that he never masturbated until he was 25, and then in order to prove it, he demonstrated what he did instead. And he memorized the entire globe and like every river known to man, every capital of every country, including states, including provinces. And then he, like, everybody just said something random. He's like, are you kidding me? You think I didn't masturbate for 25 years to not know the capital of this shit? And I'm like, he was pretty convincing. So like,
he'd be good at geolocator.
Yeah. But again, what I will say is, even that guy would look at your video and be like, I can see
but
that.
You dodged the question.
Functional.
Did you come in a sock before, Par?
I'm answering it. I'm saying every guy would look at that and then...
So you have.
And then see, I could see... I mean, like...
Why do you dance around this question so much, Par? What are you afraid of? The sock can't hurt you. Hold up a picture of a sock. Par, this isn't gonna hurt. Trust. So you have is what you're saying. In a very convoluted way.
There's a reason why it's...
Is your wife in the room?
When you asked... No.
Okay.
There's a reason. This is the same thing we were talking about, like, on the other... I forget which video. We were talking about mad times where you always try to incriminate me on, like, outside of things, and then no, but like, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm saying this is fine. I'm just saying that I handle myself in a way where I would normally know not to say certain things, because it invites, not great, attention. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the sock police are gonna show up.
Yeah, and the sock police, other police, and
But as long as you've tried it before, as you said off call, that's all that really matters.
You can't do that.
There was somebody who
just be like...
asked a question that was like, "Hey, like, Sai, can you ask Par what kind of does he like?" And then I remember I asked you, and then I think last time you like danced around the question so hard we went to another topic, and it's like, you know what? I'll let you go. I think the sock question is as far as I'll prod into this, because I can tell you don't want to air your dirty laundry out here, but see, when it comes to me, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of admitting.
You're fearless.
Yeah, I'm fearless.
Yeah.
I play with fire.
And the thing, like, social media is an interesting thing because it's like, you know, it exists. I think we talked about this in the first in one of the earlier videos. The way I view social media, but also kind of like the way I carry myself, is like whatever I would say, like, especially in a curated, like, not, this isn't curated, this is us just talking, but like the internet should be held as the same way as, like, if you went to a park, like, in real life. Like, if you are going to say something out on the internet, like, and people are going to see it, act like that's going to be you going to the park and shouting it so loud that everybody can hear.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what it's like on the internet, right? And I kind of, like, I try my best. And obviously, like, some things are, you know, this conversation isn't the same thing as what I'm saying there, but, like, people don't necessarily, I think that a lot of people overshare, overpost. And that's not, again, I'm not saying that that's what this is. This is
no, that's fair. That's fair. I
Yeah.
treat everything I do online akin to as if I was at a bar with the boys.
Yeah. And that's as long as, like, the thing is, like people will enter the space and then be surprised based off a reaction, right? But if you go in through what your awareness is and I go through what my awareness is, I understand what I am doing, right? And I understand the outcome. Most people don't do that. Most people don't, like, you know, this is how I carry myself, this is where I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to act like. And then when someone responds like, wait, why is this a response? It's like, well, you know, you did this.
This goes back to the main question then. Dress sock, wool sock, or dry fit sock?
I would imagine tube is probably the best, right?
Yeah.
The nice and fluffy one?
Yeah. The good old wool sock. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it comes
Man of
to
culture.
so when it comes
was
to,
this just a one and done thing, or, like, was this like a daily thing?
Because when it comes to this,
for me, it was one and done. Like, so what spurred this is, like, all my friends.
No shot. It was a one and done thing
for
you.
No. So the reason I made the video is because in all, like, 20 plus years of my life, I've never done it into a sock, and I heard that's a common thing, and all my friends said I was weird for, like, never doing it. So I said, you know what? I guess I'm gonna do it, and I'll record, like, a reaction, and that was it.
No. Okay.
What? No, like, that's what. So you're saying you're a multi-socker.
No,
you visit the shoe store.
I'm questioning. Nobody, when you did this, it's not like TikTok or Vine. I don't even think Vine exists. Did Vine exist during? But Vine didn't have that culture where we would just review everything and anything. Like, you know what I mean? And so, like, now people are like, oh, let me like, try this thing for the first time and like the life hacks. Let me do this myself and give my reaction and tape everything. And you're like, yeah, I'm sure you did this for the first time and whatever. And then in your case, you're like, yeah, you recorded your reaction, your response, you rated it, like,
yeah. You know, like the Try Guys and, like, BuzzFeed.
Did you share it?
They're like, hey, we're trying pizza for the first time. It's like that. Like, I'm one of those people.
When you did this,
what's up?
Was it so that you could show it to those people who called you weird and be like, you know, like feel more less lonely?
Oh no, it's just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah. No, I love just joking around. So I was like, dude, I got like 0 subs. I'm chilling. It's just me and the friends. This is a goofy video. Hell
that's
yeah.
important. I came into this call because I wanted to ask you something.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, I agree with you.
No, not that. It was that when you were young.
Yeah.
I know you had a dream job, right? That's not what I'm asking. But, like, YouTube and stuff didn't exist. Content creation wasn't really a thing. But, like, when did you start seeing that content creation was a thing for you?
For me?
Yeah.
I still don't. I still don't think I'm a content creator. What the hell?
That's what I'm... Because you...
I don't really care.
Like, I think this goes back to, like, the first or second episode where I'm like... you were like born for this. Like you can disagree and deny it all you want, but like the fact that your innate reaction to something so absurd as the sock situation
was not absurd. You did it too. No, you can't call something that all of us men did. It's a christening par.
No. To record and react is the absurd thing about that part. It doesn't. I'm pretty sure you are in a ultra rare group of maybe one people on the internet that has. Hey,
what?
People go scour the internet. Try to find size kin, like, because
okay. Like I said, this is goofy times with the boys. Like this isn't like for the masses, right? Like I'm not denying that like everybody's gonna show up and be like, whoa, Psy posted a new sock review. Like, gotta watch this video. It's
agree.
More so like, you know.
I agree, but what I'm saying is people love it. Creator, right? The viewers, they may not go out of their way to see it, they can understand it, but there's not, even now with how many absurd reaction I'm gonna try this thing, I never heard anybody post a sock cum reaction testing trial video for other people. That is like, you, whenever you made this video like 4, 5, 6 years, however long ago, it skipped like so many steps of evolution in content creation. Like Mr. Beast and all of them, they're still trying to catch up to that. You know, they haven't run out of ideas to land on that one. You know what, guys?
Because they're afraid of the copyright strike I'm gonna send their way.
And that's what I'm saying. That, like, for you to do that is a testament to you just being an innate content creator. And I was just curious because, like, when I brought this up before, you said the same thing. You never see it that way. And I'm like, you're like the most content creator-y person that I know. And you also are the person that would deny it first. And it's just so interesting because, like, when like, you know, growing up, content creation wasn't a thing. Like, it's not like a job or anything like that.
To this day, I still wish I was doing my OG dream of capturing bad guys as a fed.
And that's fair, but like, I think people have an instinctive, I like in order to completely like converse on this topic, you'd have to break down what content creation really is, what it is at its core. We're not gonna do that, but like the overall point being like, there's something instinctual that you have, and I just find that interesting because, like, you know, like my brother who's like very like normal path, like, you know, school, doctor, like that kind of thing. A few years ago, like 6, 7 years ago, I did something, I said something, and he's like, "You're a content creator," and I was like, I didn't know what to be.
It's like an insult.
Because, like, yeah. Like, he said it with like in like, he was happy, like endearment, kind of like it was but he's also like
I'd be upset if somebody called me that.
Yeah, it was an awkward thing, but like, for him to say that, I was kind of like, you know, one, he acknowledged that this thing existed, but he also doesn't like do social media stuff, like which is kind of funny because I call
so it's even worse.
No, well, it's funny because I call him a he's a LinkedIn creator. He's basic, like, he unironically
so is a LinkedIn creator. What the hell does that mean?
He just ended up becoming like the ambassador for every single one of his orgs for like professional development on LinkedIn, and he was explaining it to me. And I'm like,
sounds like such a bullshit job.
Well, no, I mean, like, he would just do, like, he would just, like, you know, like 3 jobs, studying, and then all this stuff, and then on the side he's just on LinkedIn. And then one time he showed it to me. I'm like, wait, like, are they paying you? And he's like, no, it's free. I'm like, what do you mean they're not paying you? Yeah, he's just doing it. Yeah, and he's just like a meg, like he's consulting people on how to be on LinkedIn and telling them how to be successful on LinkedIn. I'm like, and then he's like a LinkedIn hacker too, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, doing it for free.
Yeah, it's just a side thing. He's just like, he doesn't even realize that he was like that in the sauce about it. You know what I mean? Like I mean, that's kind of like how me and him are. Whenever we get involved in something, we like go 9,000%.
Yeah.
But when I never thought that he'd be so like such a big social media person, and then like from every other social media, I'm like, yeah, he's like a boomer. Then he showed me his LinkedIn. I was like, what?
This guy's
I don't even know you. Like, it was great. And then I showed my wife, and my wife is like, oh my god, he's like influential. And I'm like, yeah, and these guys are like millionaires, and like he's helping and doing all this stuff for free. And I kind of thought about that, because then like it was after like he had all that stuff that he called me an influencer, and I was like, huh, that's interesting for someone so like
it sounds removed. So backwards.
It is, and it's like
he would like dry fit socks. That's a dry fit sock kind of guy, man. What the hell?
My brother's a whole different kind of conversation when it comes to that. But
wait,
we're
really?
not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. But what we will
Burqa
talk
jackets
about is social media and where you like to do most of your streams, which most people don't know about, which is Twitch. Have you heard about the recent Twitch stuff?
Oh yeah, I heard about the Twitch stuff. That's funny.
Okay.
Good memes.
All right. See, and people were like, oh man, Par, you're gonna get banned off of Twitch. I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I used to love Twitch. I used to Twitch stream back in the day on League of Legends, and hey, I was successful for a decent while. But I pushed on the side for life, and at the time there was no affiliate program. I could have gotten partnered at the time. It's just I needed to like stream a little bit more, but I didn't have the I couldn't meet like the requirements by like a small margin. But in order for me to overcome that, I would have to like prioritize it over school, over like my like family like work stuff and that kind of thing, and I just couldn't do that. So then I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna drop the Twitch thing for now. It's whatever. If it's something that was meant to be, I'll come back to it, right? Like a year later or 2 years later, my cousin comes back and he's like, affiliates with Twitch, and I'm like, wait, what? Like I was about to get that, and he's just like, oh yeah, they dropped all the requirements, like you need like 3 viewers and stuff like that, and then they'll start paying you. And I was like, what? And then they started getting all these perks after I stopped, and at the new requirements, I probably would have been able to get partnered like instantly. And like Twitch was like on this come up, and they were like blowing up, and then like the pandemic hit, and then a lot of Twitch streamers blew up, and now it seems like Twitch is self imploding. So a lot of people, you guys are watching this on YouTube, not on Twitch.
Yeah, we're not live streaming this on Twitch yet.
Yeah,
we're gonna be multi-streaming pretty soon though. Just keep an eye for that.
Some people want that. Some people
are asking for this to be live streamed, and I don't see why we wouldn't do it on YouTube eventually, or even Discord. I think Discord would be the easiest one.
Yeah, we could do. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, okay, so one of the things that Twitch implementing is not allowing multi-streaming, so simulcasting, if you will. So we couldn't stream on YouTube and Twitch together, which is something that I do frequently, and the runaround of that is so easy. Wait, what?
Just yes, multi-streaming or simulcasting. Just like like very like matter of fact, like you're explaining this to like a bunch of students at a grad school.
Well, I mean that's what they write in their terms of service. That's why. So they don't write multi-streaming because that's not legal jargon. You know what I mean? But simulcasting,
because it's being used for Streamlabs, Stream Elements. They don't want to associate with them.
Something like that. So, hey, look at you bringing up the grad terminology, stuff like that. The reason why they can't do it. I didn't even know that.
What can I say, Par? I'm a dress sock kind of guy.
Yeah. And like, so like we can't simulcast, but like that just is kind of dumb because the origination of like YouTube, Twitch streamer things was you'd stream on Twitch and then you just upload your VOD on YouTube. And then YouTube got live streaming, and so instead of like leaving Twitch and just going to where you'd make more money on YouTube and just live streaming there, and then also just leaving your VOD up there. They just allowed simulcasting, which for partners, and if you sign a contract, yeah, I get the exclusivity. But when it comes to that, this is applying to like all creators of any size, even small creators. So now these small creators, on top of the latest changes of getting shafted out of that's honestly the biggest reason why I don't really care for Twitch too much, is because if you're an affiliate, and that's when you first get subs, like people can sub to you, they like take like 80% of the sub money.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's so sad, like, because when people, it's always weird talking about money, but when people donate to you on Twitch or anything, like, they donate because they like your content, not because they want to donate to Twitch. But in reality, that's what they're doing. Like, you get 20%, and then it goes up to 50-50, which still isn't great considering like YouTube and other platforms exist. But it's like, dang, like here's little Johnny coming in on a Tuesday. He worked kind of hard, and he's like, you know what? I like Psy a lot. I like Par. I want to give them like $5, right? And then in reality, we just get like fucking $2, $1.
Not even. It's like $1, and Johnny. Then they push the tax on us too, which obviously makes sense. And you end up getting like for a sub, you get like $1. And so like people used to like sub a lot, but then like so I stopped streaming for a lot of reasons, but if I concertedly streamed on Twitch, like I announced it and I did that, I could maybe get partner, and the threshold is like averaging 75 viewers each stream. And I started hitting that, and I was like, you know what, if I like stop streaming for fun and I start streaming like concertedly, like my YouTube channel, then I could hit that, and then it'd be worth it, right? But then Twitch added more problems, which is they don't allow you to put ads on your stream anymore. So like if you had like if we were sponsored by like G Fuel,
Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch. Like you can't put a G Fuel like banner right above my head, even if I'm sponsored by them, because Twitch is running ads on your video. So they don't want you to do that. And people are saying that, oh, they're just doing that just in case, but it's like with everything else, they've been pretty active about it. And the thing is, those banner ads, they don't help the big streamers, because the big streamers get crazier contracts for millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, they're chilling.
They like and yeah, they have the banners, but they also get like gear, or they get entire setups, and like they get completely different packages. Those banner things are helpful for the small streamers once you just made it and you're like, how do I get sponsored content on my thing without me like messing up? Oh, let me do the easiest thing. Have my link above me. I can't mess it up. It's always there. People who want to support me, it's there. But now you can't do that. And so Twitch is like completely shafting small creators. And the reason why I brought this up, Sai, is because you brought up the YouTube thing, and you got the copyright strike from
how it is,
from a live stream clip. And I got invited to a platform before the launch, and I never responded because I was busy with my son being born. That
Dang,
I was like,
is it Kick or Rumble? What's up?
It was Kick. Kick messaged me.
That's so funny.
Saying, "Hey, do you wanna? We would love to work with you." And I'm pretty sure it was a real email, because like they had like, it looked super legitimate, and it was from the email address, which is like that they use on their official website. And I'm like, okay, this is a real thing. This is before their launch, so I can see why they're reaching out to people. And this was around the time when my streams started cracking like 1K like on YouTube, I guess. So I'm assuming like maybe they were just like going through YouTube streams and trying to get people to go on to Kick, and they use like a filter to see like who gets like a lot of concurrent, which, believe it or not, a lot of the people in our space constantly break like YouTube, like not records,
averages.
Averages. Like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, like for example, BDA Law, yes, this week's stream that he does weekly hit 5,000 viewers. And if you compare that to like what YouTube recommends on lives, he was beating all of them, but he just doesn't get shown because it's not like a trending thing.
Yeah, it's just One Piece.
Yeah,
like,
so
like,
he just get
I saw your live streaming, like, you know, you get over 1,000 and it's like, damn, like in the grand scheme of things, like there's some YouTubers with like hundreds of thousands of subs who don't get that many.
Yeah, actually, like I was comparing at the time with I don't see my viewers when I'm streaming because I just have so much stuff that like honestly, it would also just crash my computer if I had the things up, but I saw like
limited by technology.
I saw Ben Shapiro. He was streaming at the same time as Brago. Brago had more people than Ben Shapiro on YouTube, and this is official wild. Ben Shapiro. Yeah, and I'm like, yo, like what? That is insane. And you know, Kick obviously has different like rules, regulations. These things are coming into the forefront because they're in the pioneering state. They don't have to deal with a lot of the issues that Twitch is dealing with now. Twitch also being aligned with Amazon probably is there. But here's some news, and I didn't get the time to validate this if this is real news or not. But here's the hypothetical, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on it. This is what the buildup was, because
this better be good because you've been hyping this up for a minute. I swear to God, Par, if this is a lame ass topic or question, I'm gonna be so upset. Par messaged me a couple days ago and he's like, oh, like we didn't message. I think we talked or something, and you were like, oh, like I got something good for the 50-50.
Oh, this isn't even the topic. This is something I found out like literally this morning.
Damn. All right, hit me with it.
But because you brought the social media stuff, I was like, damn, this is a good time to talk about it because I think a lot of people are going to be discussing this and what this means. Kick apparently, and again, I don't know if this is real, but I want to play with the hypothetical. Even if this isn't real for Kick, this could be real with another platform. I even think that the rumor of this is crazy for what it could mean. And what I heard was that Kick is going to pay an hourly wage to streamers regardless of viewership. The number that I saw was $16 per hour.
That's pretty good.
That is really good, and it's regardless of viewership. If you have 5, if you have whatever, does not matter. Now, I'm assuming that like Twitch, like YouTube, there is a bare minimum to get partnered and that kind of thing. You have to prove your merit. Sure, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
that's a solid. That's crazy. Good. 16 is like a full ass job.
Yeah, and I stream 6 hours a day sometimes. You know, not every day, but back last year, I was pulling a few, like maybe like 15 to 20 hours a week between Twitch and YouTube. Now you add a minimum wage on top of that. That is kind of insane. Like that does make me want to do that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but yo, I'm streaming for free. Like otherwise, you know, like it's not like my Twitch streams get money anyways. People were subbing, but like I honestly had to stop because it's like I don't want to have you pay Amazon instead of
you guys are just paying that random old dude at Twitch just playing his guitar.
Whereas like I feel like you and I, I have no idea, but like I feel like you and I both would kind of like it would feel like here's something that I was actually playing with. You know, I'm okay with admitting this here. I was kind of playing with the idea of turning off gifted subs on my YouTube channel. I get so many of them, but the reason why I wanted to turn it off was because you know, even though I appreciate everybody gifting the subs and it's a really helpful, especially for a stable in terms of like you know, the income stability side of things, I was gonna turn it off because like the people getting it, they weren't like, I don't know, I was making the content for my members for like people who really subscribe to me, really care about me, you know, and like want to hear my thoughts. And then like people were getting that info or like receiving all that stuff and just being super negative. And I was like, you know what, this doesn't feel good. I'm about to turn it off. And I feel like not that like that's something that you experience, but more so like you're also, I remember when we first talked about when you were streaming, you like read when I first watched you stream on your YouTube channel, like your original channel, you were reading every single chat, which I do too, but like you had like hundreds of people and you were up like for 5 hours literally, like, and you're like, guys, please stop chatting, I can't. And then like you're reading every single chat because you care about like people are participating. And then when it comes to like people donating, it does feel weird. And then on Twitch it feels awful if someone like gives me a sub and then like I couldn't even be truly happy that like people were like 12-month subscribers on Twitch, because like 6 months in 90% was being taken away and they were just supporting Amazon. And I'm like, damn, like that's annoying that you're just paying Amazon, you're not getting anything out of that. And versus now on Kick, it's like you don't feel like viewers won't be as incentivized to like need to do that, and they don't have to because their person's getting like a minimum wage. That's honestly insane for hourly streaming, and that could be abused in so many ways.
Oh yeah, I feel like eventually they're gonna crack down on that, but
yeah,
I feel like there's gonna be so many people flocking to Kick just for that 16 that I feel like it's gonna work out for them.
Are you one of those people?
No.
That's kind of, no, you wouldn't, huh?
Like I said, like I don't necessarily do it for the money, so that's why it's kind of like like even now I got striked and it's like, I can still get monetized, so I'm not like worried about it.
Yeah,
I'm just really easygoing. Maybe I will go to Kick eventually. It depends how it works. I don't know if I'd live stream on Kick unless I can multi stream it or whatever. But like on my last YouTube live stream, I got like
multi-stream.
I got 1,800 like peak for viewers on YouTube, and I was like, I'm kind of solid here. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. I've been wanting to go to Kick just to diversify if there's people that don't like YouTube, but I like. No, continue. What are you gonna say?
I'm a layout guy. I'm a layout guy. If the Kick layout looks good, if I can just like upload videos on there and like not really worry about it, then I might do it too. But
wait, go to the layout right now.
Go to the layout of Kick.
Yeah.
Shoot, let me see.
Yeah. Let's. You know, this is the kind of content people want. Because I think you're gonna look at it and be kind of like, oh, this kind of looks
just kick.com.
Yeah, kick.com.
All right, let's look at the Kick layout. It's loading up right now. It's taking a while to load. That's not good. It looks like Twitch.
Yeah.
It's just a green Twitch. I don't like it.
Wait, you don't like Twitch, or you don't like that it's green?
I like the layout. I don't like how much it looks like Twitch, and I also don't. Wait, so can you put videos on there or like VODs or anything, or is it only live streams?
Let me see.
If it's only live streams, then I think it's fine.
I think at the moment, no, your VODs can be up there.
Okay. And can you upload videos or nah?
No, I think Kick is positioning themselves literally as a Twitch replacement.
Okay.
That's kind of how I've been understanding it. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I've gathered.
It's fine. It's not bad.
Yeah. And given how they look and like literally almost everything about it, it kind of looks like they kind of just right-clicked on Twitch, looked source code HTML, and then just copy and pasted it a little bit. You know.
I wish YouTube would do that. If YouTube did that for their live streams, it would be game over.
Yeah, no, YouTube is just infuriating with that because they can make something better. Like they have the money, they have the resources, they have the people. They literally hired people from Twitch, like, and they're just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna keep it garbage, like that's fun, you know. And then they implemented like some beneficial like changes to the chat, and it's still trash. And like the standard moderator versus like managing moderator thing, that's just confusing, and you can't like, all of that is just bad, by the way. And I'm glad that I can say that on YouTube, and you know, they can't do anything. Hopefully it stays that way, but
Can't wait till we get banned.
Yeah, imagine we get banned, but then I guess there's another option with Kick, you know? And that's why I wanted to ask you this. If you were going to move, what would be the requirements? And you answered in a way that was very content creator like, because you were more focused on like, hey, it has to meet my standards. Like, I'm not out here for the money, you know.
I mean,
like
it's the people too. Like, are people on Kick really looking for an Asian dude that just like sometimes talks about One Piece and socks?
I'm sure they are. They got the gamblers here too. You know what I mean? This is
yeah, they got the gamblers. So it's a direct correlation.
Yeah, people who are risque. You know what I mean? Risky and risque, both of them. Though that's what it's allowed here. And technically, your Twitch streams might be more comfortable on Kick.
No. That's
given how risque they are.
No. My Twitch streams are not risque. They're super tame.
It's like I think I could have went over to Kick. I'm not really motivated necessarily. I'm like focused on TikTok and that right now TikTok and YouTube are my fortes, but I always like streaming, and the reason why I wanted to bring it up too is because I think you like streaming, and we both like early on did streaming, and we both have our focuses now. But I feel like there probably is a lot of people listening that don't necessarily hear all this news and realize like how insane it is, and a lot of times people who are early adopters of something are benefiting of it. So want to highlight this for the 50/50 viewers. Like if there's anybody who likes streaming in the chat, like I honestly, and I'm pretty sure like Asmongold also, like for other reasons, was basically like, yeah, just like don't stream on YouTube or Twitch, or I think he was mainly saying Twitch, but he was basically saying like there's not, like he didn't recommend one way or the other, but he was basically like saying if there was any time to like not start on Twitch, it's now, and if there's any time to leave Twitch, it's now. And I'm kind of like, I've always loved Twitch. It was the first platform that kind of got me into like this social media stuff. And it's kind of sad to see, but at least there's alternatives, I guess. Hopefully everything ends up working okay, because I feel like at the end of the day, people kind of misunderstand what content creation is, but I look at it as like a community thing. I that's how I look at it primarily, like gathering communities of people that are like not necessarily like-minded, but like interested, like a club. And that's kind of how I see
it like a boys club. If you can talk about your socks, then you're fine by me.
Yeah.
Nobody who goes in a sock is truly a bad guy.
This sock agenda is crazy. You know what?
You gotta join it. You gotta join it, Par. You can't beat them off in a sock, then join them.
I'm gonna TikTok you.
You're gonna TikTok the sock agenda?
I'm going to, you know what? Because I have a third channel that I'm looking to jumpstart.
That sounds like a threat. Like I'm gonna TikTok you.
No, this is a threat. This is a threat.
Do it. I will not care.
I will review. I will. Like those things like, oh my, like this. Did you know that like I'm gonna do one of those like TikToks, like my One Piece things, but like I do like other information. I don't know if I showed you my like historical TikTok stuff, but like I did stuff for like Bangladesh for the other company, and I'm gonna start that up. But like just my sciencey factual, like that kind of thing, just like a place for me to share non-One Piece things. And I think early on I'm gonna do, did you know that this creator review will tell you where is the best place to relieve yourself? And it's not the bathroom, guys. It's the wool
it is
sock.
the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I said, I'm one and done.
You gotta make a part 2. If you didn't say that in the video, you gotta make a part 2. I'm just gonna paint you out. I'm gonna do it. I mean,
go for it. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being the One Piece YouTuber that does like sock reviews on the side.
No, completely out of context. Like this small creator,
this random guy.
Yeah, don't ask me how I stumbled upon this video.
I'm gonna make another one. Be like, hey, like there's this guy that just looks at me through my window. And he just records me while I'm like doing my dirty deeds. Like there's something up with them, and it's just you. I'm gonna Photoshop you peeking through a window, And you're like, guys, if you see this
No.
man near your household, call the police. Like, this guy's a maniac.
We start like we have like a social media war, which I feel like should come back, like not in a, like the lame way, like with the boxing stuff. That's a little lame right now. I like the diss track era of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't necessarily like the people involved, but I like the idea. I like the creativity that was there, you know? That was kind of cool. I liked that. That was fun.
No, I want to... Yeah, no, maybe we should start beef, and then we can, like, do diss tracks on each other.
Yeah. Wait, are you like a... You're not a... sorry to just be disrespectful here, but are you a musically person?
Only if it's in Asian.
You don't even know...
But here's the thing, I feel like if I were to do like diss tracks, they would get super risque. It might not have the kindest of languages out there, so that's what I'm afraid of too.
Yeah, I'd be afraid. I feel like if someone started beef, I feel like you would be the scariest person to start beef with, because you would like analyze.
Channel be gone. I'm just gonna go all in.
Yeah, like you would be like I mean, there's like YouTubers now that do like not takedowns but exposés. I think like you would be scarier than all of them, like combined, even like knowing you, and like if you actually cared, like to like critically analyze someone, and they were like an actually bad person, they would be done, right? So if anyone actually started beef with you, you know, like when they say like, you know, if you see me in a fight with a bear, call an ambulance for the bear.
Oh
or whatever.
My God. No, I don't think I'm that bad. But it's the only thing I'm like worried about, and I think my wife can contest because she tells me every day like, oh man, I'm so afraid for you. Is like some of the things I say, it's like, I could get canceled for it, you know. So like, I feel like if I ever do drop a diss track, it's it's gonna be the final day of my online career.
You gotta with restrain some of that.
I always restrain it, you know.
I don't even. Yeah, I mean, you always do, but for the diss track, but like between you and me, we wouldn't. The thing is, I don't even know if I want to say this out loud because I don't want to encourage it, but like. What's the up? Lay's situation is just a testament, right? Like, if you guys don't know what the Lay's thing is, go back like 3 episodes, and at the end of it, we talk about Lay's and what Psy did to them, and that's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and I'm just little old me, and most people are just little old them, right? And so like, if Psy could do that to like bend over backwards a multi-billion-dollar organization, yeah, it's kind of like, you know. And the thing is, like, Psy didn't even do anything. Like it wasn't like oh, this company's canceled. No, like they were just like, it didn't even matter what they did.
They could have been give back the flavor.
Yeah, like it didn't matter what they did. They just made Psy mad, and then Psy was like, you know what? You're gonna have to deal with this for the rest of your existence.
Like, I remember at that time I was like, man, I need my flaming hot Lay's fix, and I just didn't get it. So it's like I gotta start a petition.
And I think like objectively you can stand back and say that they didn't do anything wrong. Like they weren't in the wrong about anything, but they just upset you, and then you did that, and you probably weren't expecting the outcome to be that crazy, but like, that's even scarier.
It was kind of just a meme to like start a petition on Lay's. Like, I think during one of the videos I forced like a tear out or something.
Yeah.
No, I was playing it up.
Yeah, you guys can go. Psy laid down a lot of the details of that, but like, if you fill in the blanks of that situation and what transpired from point A to point like Z, then yeah, Psy is scary. And the thing is, the power, and this is the loop around. The real power of social media
comes from the sock.
Close. I was gonna say memes.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and you create memes. You're a meme maker. I think that's what makes you so powerful in social media.
That sounds so goofy. There's nothing stronger than someone who creates memes.
The memes are insane. Have you seen the videos of people's lives ruined from memes? Have you seen that?
Those are great. They deserve it usually.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel bad for the corn kid. The
Who's
kid
the
who just
corn
like
kid?
he was like at a festival and some like or a carnival and
Oh,
some like
the kid that
random
says I like corn.
yeah, and then they made like a song and then he became memed and now every time he shows up in public like what's your favorite corn? And it's like you're a grown ass person running up on like a 9-year-old screaming about corn. At this point you're the crazy person and you can see how uncomfortable this kid is because it's been like 3 years now and he's just like
After 3 years, he shouldn't. It should be whatever. It should roll off of him. I blame the kid more than the people.
yeah, but he's 9. He's like or
Who
like 10.
cares?
Like he doesn't have a lobotomy or not lobotomy. He doesn't have a frontal lobe. You know what I mean? Like you can't blame them. You know what I mean? Like
The
they didn't
parents should
develop
have
that part
teached
of the
him to
brain.
roll with the punches. Like
Yeah, but you
literally,
can't
people
teach.
asking you what your favorite type of corn is when he probably made a lot of money off of that. That's like the least of all worries.
Do you think he made a lot? Because he didn't make
If his parents
the song.
capitalized on it, yeah, he should have made a lot of money.
Yeah, he it might have been.
If his
Because
parents
the
are also
thing is-
lobotomized, then that would explain why he's getting his feelings hurt by people asking by asking him if he likes corn.
because that actually goes back to the monetization thing. Because the reason why he went viral wasn't because of him. It's because someone made a song and then that person owns the rights to it, even though it's him saying
That's so
it.
good.
And that's another like small niche kind of crazy thing where it's like I think we might have talked about this where if you go on like TikTok or whatever YouTube and you look at all those memes, a lot of those things are I wouldn't say novel, candid is the right word. Like the people don't, a lot of times memes come from like the person doesn't intend for
Oh,
a
yeah.
meme to be born, right? What that means is that they're just regular people, not content creators. They have no knowledge of anything that we talked about on this thing, like in terms of the details of platforms or whatever. And so because they're ignorant of that, what comes is people who are not ignorant, and what they do is they'll repost their audio, their clips, and then claim it, and by doing that they set the precedent that they're the owners of it, and the people who really own it are like 6-year-old kids, 9-year-old kids with parents who aren't knowledgeable of all these things anyways. And then now you have these people that's just like claiming right over these memes and making lots of money actually, which is wild. Some people are being taken down, but it's such a crazy process because if you and I could have difficulties copyright dealing with strikes and claims, imagine an 8-year-old kid, right? Like that's insane, and they're losing out on like actually like thousands of dollars on top of that.
El Bozo.
So, El Bozo. It's kind of crazy what the internet is
Like
created,
it sucks,
honestly.
but nobody's gonna cry for him, right?
It's weird because now they're setting a precedent of like being able to sue for it. Like all that needs to happen is time. So like these kids that are being memed are now I think they're starting to get the precedent to be able to like get what's it called? Reparations? Yeah,
Reparations for being memed on. That sounds so goofy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, but like how expansive that reparation part goes, it'll never reach the lengths of repairing their reputation, where like the only benefit some people have is if you were memed as a kid. Because if you're memed as a kid, once you're like 18 or something, if you're memed as a 9-year-old, chances are you don't look the same anymore. So people don't even recognize you. The unfortunate situation is when the person who got memed is like almost an adult and they don't really change what they look like and you can very easily recognize them. And I've seen a few of those, and it not that it affects them, but it's kind of funny when you see them like in a regular job.
This kind of reminds me of that kid that did the Nirvana poster, because I hate him so much.
What kid that did the Nirvana poster?
Like you remember that like famous like Nirvana post, like not poster, album cover, where it's like
No,
a kid
I
in a
don't.
pool with his pee out
No,
in the water.
No,
It's like
No.
super famous. It's like their most popular album.
So you know, I'll out myself here. Growing up, I wasn't really exposed to the world. I was in a very lock and key situations. So,
That's
I
all
see
good.
it now.
Yeah, so that poster, the kid, I think he's like in his 20s now. Like that's such an old album.
Uh-huh.
He's like in his late 20s or whatever now. And he's like, yes, I'm going to sue my parents and I'm also going to sue Nirvana because I didn't give my consent as a child to do any of this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of goofy considering the fact that his entire life he's kind of like hyped up like that one poster, that one album. He's went on like talk shows talking about how he loves that he's that baby. He even uses it to like pick people up at bars, and that now he's like, oh guys, it mentally scarred me. I gotta sue for this one.
Yeah, I mean, so that's where like the, I think we don't allow 18-year-olds to get to decide to make a permanent change as much as a tattoo, right? Why? Because they don't have the proper decision making yet, and that's scientifically proven. And the fact that like the internet's not developed enough for those protections to be in place there, I think it's like what you're saying there. If he's 20 now or something, and all of those interviews are of him as a kid, then like even like 9 to 18, I don't really put too much stock in him backtracking, because you don't really understand the true effects of long-term situations as a child, because that's
No,
just,
he does it past 18 too.
does it pass. Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like if you, how do I say this, because this conversation gets to an interesting spot, but more so like um it I mean, the parent suing thing is a slippery slope in itself, but like there's so many things that we are flippy floppy about how kids decide on things, whereas like we don't let kids get tattoos, but they can join the army. Like, they can decide to get drafted, but they can't drink. But they can also get like hundreds of thousands of dollars in bank loans for school, in something that they're deciding for the long term. And we're seeing more and more now where people are like, switching, that their degrees don't really matter, because then they end up mastering in something completely different, which isn't even like a now thing. I have plenty of teachers who said the exact same thing, that generationally it was always there. But like when it comes to like, yeah, if you are a child and if you are dealing with something for a majority of your childhood, and you perceive it as something good, and then you mature and now you change, and now that thing is no longer seen as cool, I don't think that necessarily diminishes their later take, because they now matured, right? Just because they were as a kid and like they developed in 20, 21, 22, because that we could say that about like people who do drugs or something like that, right? Like there's a certain amount of mental development that sticks with you that you can't really perceive until those certain portions of your brain are developed. And like I would say that here, but one thing that I would say is damn, like this is kind of crazy for Nirvana. Do you know like the result of like that lawsuit? Because it's
Oh no, I didn't really keep up with it. What happened?
no, I'm just wondering, because like, yo, he had the whole wee wee out there, and that's kind of I came across a different a, an acquaintance that I know has like a very popular podcast where he himself is a ex
An ex wee wee
uh
enthusiast?
no, an ex-convict, and he got out. He had a crazy story. I mentioned it briefly in a previous episode, and now he interviews other ex-cons, and after they left, and kind of the situation, what got them there, what it was like in prison,
Yeah.
federal solitary. I sent you a few of the videos, but I came across one earlier today, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy that he also still did jail time. And I'm like, and it connected to this because it has to do with like CP stuff, which I don't want to talk too much about it, but actually I want to save that for a different
If you want to know my
podcast
stance on
episode.
CP, I think it's bad.
Yeah, I mean obviously that, but like In terms of this Nirvana poster, where does that land for you?
I think the Nirvana poster is fine. Like, it could be any baby. It could even be a Photoshop penis for all I care.
But isn't it still distributing, like,
yeah,
it's not an act,
they definitely
but like
danced on the line back then, but I feel like back when Nirvana released that album, it was very it was like a different time in a way.
So do you think, like, is what was it, statutes of limitation or whatever, for, because I feel like for, it's interesting because like, this is art,
And plus,
right?
the parents gave consent, so it wasn't like they kidnapped a baby and like showed their penis.
Yeah, and like, we have medical textbooks and things like that. It's just interesting how this kind of goes down. Yeah, that's why I was like, I wonder how this lawsuit went down, because I could see it being a difficult one for Nirvana, honestly, if this was like in the 2000s and whatever. And I don't know what the statute of limitations is for that, because I know they recently lengthened it. But then you can also claim like art, right? Like, it's not like what the statues of like Michelangelo or whatever those statues names are. Like, there's like baby with wings, and then there's a wee on them. It's not like you can go to any museum and your kids are allowed to go to those museums. It's like, it's not like all of a sudden we're just calling like Da Vinci, whoever crafted those statues, like, criminals, even though technically back then, like, probably a lot of them were technically, by our standards, but
Hey, different times, man.
Yeah, which is why I'm curious.
It's like that one podcast we had where we talked about how back in the day you could just kill your neighbor and just get away with it. Nobody really cared.
Yeah. So we had not pushback, but someone I forget who said it, whether it was my Discord or not. Someone said, like, nah, people weren't like that back then. Like we were overstating the reality of
the further back you go in history, the more common it was. Like, yeah, maybe like 200 years ago, sure, maybe I'm not like dragging old Pop Wiggleberry out by his hair and like killing him, but you go back 300 years, like the chances go up higher and higher the further back you go in history.
Like, someone killed someone.
Oh yeah,
that's how I saw it. That, like,
it's like an innate thing in humans. Like any animal, like killing is just in the nature,
Yeah,
but as we get more civilized, killing is more and more frowned upon, which is good. I'm not an advocate for killing, but I'm just saying, like, back in the day, like, especially like 3,000 years ago, if somebody were to just get murdered, I doubt it'd be like a big deal. It'd be like, oh, cool, whatever, Tuesday, Monday suck.
I think that's what they were getting at.
And then like lifespan was like 25 years old, 30 years old anyways, like 5,000, 4,000 years ago. So like I doubt anybody was like too hung up on like, oh god, like this one dude got killed at like 15. It's like, oh yeah, no, like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen anyways.
Yeah, I think that's what they were getting at. They were saying like killing was always a big deal, and so it wasn't as acceptable as we made it out to be.
Yeah,
but I think I'm still
fair.
on what we are saying here, where it's like if you went like 500 years ago, 600 years ago, then yeah, like those dudes, like you could probably convince people. It would probably be much easier to convince someone of like doing that kind of crime. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's kind of that's like, or also the concept of like, this person's bad, we should just kill them. Like that kind of because like we only recently got rid of capital punishment, and it's like that was a more normal and honestly back then it was like a cheered on thing. You know what I mean? Like people went around it was even in the United States like 300 years ago, burning people at the stake and stoning them.
That was a public event.
A public event
like 300 years ago. Like imagine this, a different reality timeline. Me and Par, I would literally hit up Par and his wife and his newborn son and be like, hey, are you and Zenith going to the public stoning tomorrow? Like me and the wife are. And it's like, oh, and then cool. I would bring the popcorn,
hit you
dude.
back up and then be like, I didn't hear that news. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's the talk of the town. And like,
I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, especially depending on the crime. It's like, or at least what people. This is why storytelling and written language is so important, or speakers or like people who perpetuated the news is so important, because the person didn't even have to do the crime. If you were just like in the wrong place, the wrong time, and they made up a good enough sounding story, you were dead. Like,
yeah.
And you could
just
convince enough people, like,
politician back in the day. If you were an enemy of a politician, it's game over.
yeah. And
so,
you
you're
would
so
be
done.
going back to it. Like, if you would be a politician back then, and you would be super convincing. But the thing is, like, I would like
take
to think
bribes. As a kid, so growing up, I always wanted to be like someone in power who took bribes. I thought that was so cool. But I mean, obviously, I was kid me, it's not me today. But as a kid, I thought there was nothing cooler, because like in movies, they'd be like, like just pass me 200 and this will all go under the table. And I was like, wow, that's dope. I was like so happy when I saw that.
You can make money from just being voted in? That's crazy.
Yeah, you can make money from being a kind of bad guy. I need to do that.
And I could, not that I would think that you would be such a bad investigator that you would wrongfully accuse the wrong people.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, because that's a testament to your knowledge, and you wouldn't want to take an IQ hit because you're too prideful of that, right? Like, if you ever found out that you were wrong, you'd be like, that would be more painful. But thing is, like, if you knew that you were wrong but they slid $200, that's different. It's like, oh, I didn't do this because I'm stupid. I did this because I wanted the money. Right?
I'd always capture a criminal if it's the right person. I would never falsely accuse anybody. But if it's like something minor, like, hey, I like drove past a stoplight, and I'm gonna be like, well, you can either pay the state $500 because I'm gonna amp up your speed by 10, or you can pay me $100 in cash, and then we could just let it slide.
Yeah.
Or I guess in the context of a Fed, what would that be? I guess there wouldn't really be anything. Like, hey, like you want me to lose a file? Like what? You're investigating this dude? You want me to lose a file? $200. All right, cool.
Yeah. I could
buy me a drink tomorrow.
And like, even that's like completely different from, like, like we have the jury, a jury of your peers now, and like, yeah, that didn't exist back then, but we also, like, citizens arrest was a thing that, like, more in the past, where it's like, if your town all just was swayed by this, like, thing, right? Like, investigation didn't even matter because they didn't have forensics, right? Like, forensics was not even a thing. And you compare those two, like the lack of knowledge and the lack of his like being able to fact check somebody, and how recent a lot of our justice system has been, like even in recent history, a lot of cases that were shut and closed even like 20 years ago are being overturned, right? And now just go back like 200 years ago. Just go back 200 years ago. You pair that, you put someone on this crime, and now think about, like, if you, like, I'm trying to think of, like, if you killed three cows, right? Nowadays, you're not dying, but back then you could probably get killed for that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's like the threshold. I don't even know what the lowest threshold would be for killing somebody, but also, like, getting the group sentiment, like, yeah, stoning. That's what we need to do.
Stoning is cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think, going back to what we were originally saying when someone said, like, it wasn't as commonplace. It's like, I think people were okay with, like, at the end of the day, you do have documentation of people getting in groups and stoning people to death, and them living the next day and being like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then everybody, like, attended, kids. They like helped out.
Yeah. And, like, that sentiment is not lost in us today. It's just it's more docile in some regards, but, like, the roots of it still exist, where we want to cancel people, like we want to end people's lives over, like, a few words that they say. And yeah, those could be, like, really heinous words, and like, maybe from 10 years ago, but that's a similar sentiment in a lot of ways. The whole like, that's like metaphorically ending someone's entire existence in a lot of ways, their livelihood, whether doxing them, jobs, whatever, destroying their families. And sometimes it's not even true. So you take that and take how prominent cancellation culture is. If you don't think that's an issue now, I don't know what to say to you, because it definitely is an issue. Whether there are some justified cancellations, that doesn't justify like the 90% when they're wrong. So, and then you go back in time, it's like people got canceled, but like they didn't live after they got canceled, and they didn't have a way to fact check it. It was almost, I would almost say like the cancellations now are worse now than they are back then, because like now it's kind of like subjective of like, oh, this person's just a mean person, versus the people that got canceled in the context we're talking about, they were being accused of working with Satan. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like the goofiest things.
Yeah, like, but at least in their respective context, they were thinking like, this person is working with the devil, that's why we're gonna kill them. Versus now it's like, this person hurt someone's feelings, and yeah, it's wrong, but we're gonna cancel them anyways. You know what I mean? Like, at least, we're not accusing them of working with the devil, and we're still doing crazier shit.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. Times have changed.
It is wild. It is wild. Which is, it's funny because your wife says, you're prime suspect for being canceled. And I agree. But that goes back to what I was saying. It's like, that's why you have to navigate the internet in a little bit of a special way.
Do you want to go back to capital punishment? Do you like capital punishment, Par?
I think it can exist, but just not in our timeline. I feel like
we're too far gone. It's like the worst way to put it. We're too far gone for capital punishment.
Or not just that. It's like, even now, because I think the biggest reason to not have capital punishment is innocence. Like, the fact that we can be wrong, even if we are like, even if we have like you can get an entire room of 100 people and they could all agree that this person is guilty, and that person can still be wrong. And yeah, that scenario is so slim that you'd want capital punishment to exist. But the reality is, there are documentation, even in 2023, of wrongfully accused people.
What if they admit to it?
Even admission is kind of like a thing, because we know, like, because the issue there is
coercion.
Wealthy people can, yeah, exactly. Wealthy people can pay people, and our society is built up in a way where, yeah, there's a number on anything. You know what I mean? If there are people that are, hey, if we're homeless, I'm gonna take $1 million, even less. I would imagine like 100,000 for some people might be like,
even less than that.
Yeah, less than that.
You're highballing it.
To get my family off the streets or something like that. Not even that. Like, get this kid to school. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of a thing. Like, there's so many reasons. And that would incentivize the powerful to in further encourage a society where they could get away with crimes by perpetuating this, and then them continue to pay like a tax, so to say, like a rich person tax in New York is not caring about parking tickets, right?
Yeah, but then again, like, capital punishment won't forgo like a standard investigation. So like, even if like a rich person does this, we could still like investigate it and be like, well, if they've done this twice, then there's like a correlation here. Maybe something's going on.
There's not a single place in the world that has a foolproof investigative process.
No place does. But just because of that, would you forego capital punishment?
Yeah. I feel like the only time capital punishment can exist is like like the leader of a country is ordering like the slaughter of an entire group of people, and there's multiple points of data that like this guy is insane. You know what I mean? Like and he did, or like you'd have to catch him red-handed, but then also like an entire group of people.
So for you, you need like undeniable proof.
Yeah, like beyond undeniable. You have to get like people on every side of the aisle to agree on this. It has to be unanimous to a certain extent.
Look at that.
But who is in that jury? Like that does matter to me.
Par is one of those people who wouldn't be okay with modern day killing your neighbor. We hate to see it.
I thought you were gonna implicate me in a way crazier scenario. It's like, yeah, obviously
That's the worst implication, Par.
I feel like there's a lot of scenarios that a lot of people can bring up, and then you could say, yeah, I would want to put capital punishment here. It might have the same abbreviations as capital punishment, if you guys understand that. And the thing is, like, you could want that. Honestly, that the same abbreviations as capital punishment, we have caught people undeniably, like, photographic. There's no stopping, like, us. And, like, in those situations, it's like, yeah, but the someone mentioned in the Discord, the reason why we don't is because that encourages people feeling justified for going after, like, people on a list. You know, we had that previous discussion of, like, people who are sex offenders, and then if you made that a legal precedent of capital punishment, then people would take it on their thing and it would encourage that, and there's actually documented proof of that existing, which is why we can't do that. Because on the flip side of, like, yeah, capital punishment, you know, might sound justified, the reality is everything sets a precedent, right? Like, we talked about it last time with pranks, right? We talked about how, like, these harmless pranks, hey, maybe there's fake, whatever, but at the end of the day, they could encourage, like, these dunderheads to perpetuate this prank, and they're doing it for real, and they're doing it for views or whatever. If you apply that in the legal aspect, or like this was it vigilante aspect, then yeah, we have documented proof of it existing there, which is why as a government we can't do that kind of thing unless we have a Psychopaths kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like, in that,
if
in
only
that situation,
I wish.
Yeah, so we have a few viewers who said that they jumped on Psychopaths, but and they don't necessarily like this society, but they only got to the first season, so I said I keep watching.
No, if they don't like the society in season 1, they won't like the society in season 2. That's unfortunate. I think it's a beautiful society. I think it's the ideal society.
I think the point of that society also, or that show also shows that no system will ever be perfect.
What do you mean it was perfect?
We're still in the prologue. We don't know if it's perfect, Sai. We're still in the prologue
of Psychopaths.
Yeah, the third, all the way to the third season, it's all prologue.
Wait, is there like a manga that's ongoing, or what's up?
So, Amazon bought the rights, but did you watch the latest season that Amazon put out?
No. Wait, season 3? No.
Season 3 is probably the best in my opinion. But when you watch season 3, you realize that all of this is prologue. And I'm like, no, I thought that we were ending it. And it's rare for me to, like, see something being extended and then be like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, I'm confident in them. But I was like, yo.
The Sybil system is too good, though. I'm going to miss it if it's gone.
It's not that it's gone. It's the world expanded. There's a lot of things that happened in the first 3 seasons that went unexplained. And it's fine. It's a complete package, sure. But the end of the 3rd season makes you realize that, yo, they were dropping crumbs along the way. And you're like, oh, that's what happened? That's what this is? That's who these people are? And you're like, God damn. And then they stay very strongly pushed the next season, which I think is coming out 2024. I'm not sure.
Season 3 better be good with how you're hyping it up.
I think there's a lot of people who didn't like it, but they also didn't get to the ending. Because for me, I like world building. I love it when world building is done right, and I feel like the movies did it right, and it was done really cool. And the world building in season 3, from memory, was really dope. I remember the beginning was kind of like, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know.
Season 4 has not been confirmed.
If you watch the end of season 3, it's almost like there has to be a season 4.
It's been 4 years since season 3.
And the reason why I'm still confident in it is because Amazon bought it, and look, Amazon, Netflix, all those things, like, they don't season 1 things, you know what I mean? Amazon, I forgot how much they bought it for, but they were gung ho about buying Psychopaths. And I think what's being played out here
It
is
bought Psychopaths in 2019, and that was it.
yeah, and then they came out I think in 2020, but that season, because what I was saying is the prologue, like I'm pretty sure they're cooking. They're
I don't
cooking
know,
in
man.
the
It's
oven.
been 4 years.
Watch the end of season
They
3.
didn't even make season 3.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Watch the end of season 3 and you'll know why I'm saying what I'm saying.
But there's so many animes and mangas that get bought and they just rot.
I'm telling you, if you watch the ending, you'll understand why I'm saying it. It's like it's like, like a lot of people didn't think like, Bleach ended and then like anime came back, but like the thing about the Psychopaths thing is like I'm pretty sure I don't even know, because I saw a few people talk about it and they were like, I think this is original. And then they were like, I forgot what they said in the comments, but like a lot of people, I don't necessarily do this, but a lot of people are like look into like what people like the directors say and like interviews and stuff like that. And at the time, because I think this was like 2020 probably.
Yeah,
I feel like it was before. No, it was probably during the pandemic. I was like, yo, I've never been excited, and I'm pretty sure the entire comment section was just like,
season 4 is gonna be good.
Yeah. When you watch the ending, you'll understand what I mean by it.
Hey, well,
because the other thing about Psychopaths
I'm not
is
holding
that,
my breath.
The other thing about Psychopaths is that they are the anime that they remade season 1 and 2, changing one thing. They made the entire thing over, just like a what if. You know what I mean? And then the movie is also like a what if. And it's kind of crazy that they did that twice. Like they were squeezing, but like I gobbled that shit up. But season 3, oh my goodness. It was crazy. I can't even spoil some of the things because like and I know you're fine with spoilers, but I can't even spoil some of the things in season 3 because I was just like, wait, they actually did that? Dude, that's not even like, what do they mean? And then it's because they introduced something that's even wilder. And I'm like, what? Wait, that's what this was. This is just the beginning?
Hey, I hope there's a season 4, but it's been 4 years since season 3. Amazon bought it after season 3.
I need you to binge it.
They're chilling.
No. They bought it before season 3 was distributed by Amazon. So they bought so it was made before, but I'm pretty sure they had directive rights to it, and then it got distributed on Amazon.
Yeah.
And so Amazon was in the process of that. I think that they were looking to buy it after the last movie that they had, from what I remember reading. And so it was a lengthy issue, but this is also at the beginning. Like Netflix was buying a bunch of anime studios or whatever, and like they were buying the rights to a bunch of things, and Amazon was very picky, and Psychopaths was one of them. And man, I'm gonna go back because I remember, I think it was actually it was in the 1086 discussion. I was saying I wasn't on a lot of forums, but for that one I was. And in the never before, I never got involved like this before, but in that comment section, people were like linking and like citing interviews about like what's happening, because people were like confused. They're like, wait, what? I need you to binge it. I need you to watch the season 3. Wait, I thought you did watch season 3.
I did not. I only watched season 2 in the movies.
Season 2 of the movies. The movies are cool. The movies were I think from what I remember, one of the movies is like foreshadow. It's like a prototype to seasons, to a minor concept in season 3. I think one of the characters though was canon in the movie. I say canon loosely because obviously I wasn't consuming the manga. I don't even know if there is a manga, but that's where it's weird because like I'm not sure. I think what I remember is that Amazon wanted to go original with it, and they apparently that this is one of their earlier acquisitions in the anime industry. And then things like the Invincibles or whatever, or something like that, like
Yeah, the
the
Invincibles.
other animated stuff, and like those things went nuts, right? So it was like, I think like alongside all those things, people were like, yo, this is about to be crazy.
Hey, I hope so.
And
It's been radio silent for 4 years with no signs of renewal, according to a lot of websites.
that, hey, you know, that wouldn't be the first time. We've also gotten reboots of a lot of things that were radio silent, and we didn't necessarily even want those reboots. So
How long would you wait until you
surprised.
lose hope? 10 years?
Till I lose hope?
Hope of a season 4, 10 years?
10 years is... I feel like I've waited longer for anime stuff.
12 years.
I feel like I'm at a point where I would wait as long as possible.
Wait,
I would
okay.
just wait.
Like until you give up hope that there's going to be a season 4. Like let's say 15 years pass, there's still no season 4, Amazon hasn't talked about it. Would you give up hope by that point?
Okay. It's a little, let's say if One Piece ended, right?
Yeah.
Like just dropped, right? And we had no knowledge of it. I would hope it comes back. How long would I care for hope? I would want it for the end of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when would you give up?
That's for me, like, maybe this is just how I am. I don't know. Like, I don't care about like things like that too much. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll always want it. Am I like caring about it? Like, I haven't even looked it up.
Because it seems like you're pretty confident that there's going to be a season 4, and I hope there is too. But
yeah, I'm confident.
When would your confidence die? Like how long? Not One Piece, but Psychopaths.
Okay, confidence in it coming back.
Yes.
Like if it comes back and I'm like, oh wow, this blindsided me. I feel like I just, again, that's one of those things. In terms of confidence, though.
Yeah, in terms of confidence.
If you ask me in 15 years.
Yeah, like Psychopaths season 4 has not been released in 15 years. This is year 4, 15 years. So 11 more years past it. And I come back and we revisit this conversation. And I'm like, hey, Par, do you still think Psychopaths is going to get a season 4? Would you still say yes with the full confidence?
Years. I'd give it 15 years, yeah.
And then after 15 years, you're going to be like, yeah, it's not coming back.
After 15 years, I would be like,
when would you give up? Is the question.
I guess the separation would be because I'm trying to find where, like, because I it's hard to explain why I'm weird about this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I care differently than other people. Like Hunter x Hunter, right? Like,
yeah,
that was something like people wanted to come back. Like I did too. I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like if it didn't come back, it didn't. I wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
but for Hunter x Hunter, the author always said he was gonna come back.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but meaning like, if you were to analogize the situations, right? Like the author saying that, and I'm still like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, in this case, I'm telling you that it's coming back, right? So that's, I guess, like I'd say after 12 years, I'd stop being like, oh, it's coming.
Okay,
you know what
cool.
I mean? Yeah. That's
because I said, I hope it gets a season 4, but I'm not hopeful when it comes to animes and getting renewals like that. Especially after it passes a couple of years. I think the longest one I've seen was... It's really just been like Attack on Titan, because season 1 to season 2, that took a long time for it to actually come out. So that one was impressive, but that was like a cultural phenomenon. As far as Psychopaths goes, yeah, like me and you, we really like it, but
yeah,
it doesn't have like a massive fan base, which is the main problem. By comparison to like Attack on Titan,
reasons
and Bleach,
why I feel like, because again, I'm pulling from memory. This is how.
Yeah.
Not that I don't care. I do care. I just, like, in terms of me looking up things, like I'm looking up like health stuff, science stuff. Like if these things happen, they happen. If they don't happen, I'm not like super upset, unless it's like One Piece, right? Like that's a little bit different. But for this one, I'm kind of like,
so 12 years.
No, in terms of why it being long, like 4 years doesn't feel long to me because of a few reasons. Amazon was entering in, and this is like from the initial stuff, like from what I'm remembering, Amazon was entering into a new space, which means that they had to acquire a bunch of people that they didn't have prior. And when it comes to those acquisitions and creating new studios, that's a lengthy process. And if we look at the quality adjacent to everything that's happening, right? Like, even look at the One Piece live action, right? Oda's going to new space, and now he drops on us that he's been working on that since before Stampede, right? That's like 7-8 years ago, and we don't even have a trailer for One Piece live action. We didn't get like inklings of it. We got inklings of it, but like the general population wasn't like fully aware of it like maybe 3 years ago. And then Oda tells us that no, even before he was working on Stampede, which yeah, you can look at the movie release, but he's working on Stampede like 4 years, if not 5 years before Stampede.
The One Piece Netflix thing got announced back in 2015.
And then, right, like how much information are you getting, right? That kind of collaboration, you want to hype up, you want to do those things. And you look at Amazon, right? They are doing what, like the Invincibles, they're testing out a bunch of different projects, but they're also not like Netflix. Netflix was like funding a bunch of stuff for like no reason, and they were like pulling out, where we get a situation where we're in the current timeline where there's a writer's strike because of companies like Netflix underpaying people because they were like,
thank God for the writer's strike.
Pushing out, yeah, like the writer's strike was completely validated because like otherwise you get like the garbage content that you're subscribing for, and you get like one good gem here and there.
I don't know, man. Those writers kind of suck half the time though.
It's
a mixed bag. I'm glad the writers are getting paid, but I don't think that some of what they produce is worth it.
It's an incentive system, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I
like
agree.
Netflix,
I agree. Like it's good they're getting paid, and like it could lead to better things, but whew.
Like the reason why you're not getting another Game of Thrones is because they want to push out content, so they'll reach for reboots, and they need people to just rewrite bullshit stuff, and then you get the Velma show type of things. And it's because that's low hanging fruit, because they're not paying. So
that's why you're gung ho for Psychopaths season 4.
But on the like, there's like a nuance to that where it's like Amazon's probably also dealing with. But every single hiccup that the entire industry suffers, behind the scene projects like Psychopaths is going to suffer that, right, on Amazon's side, right? So that's why it's like, yeah, like I'm not too worried about, like, if 4 years doesn't feel that long, considering like we're in a current like drought of like original content in the first place, and then the writer strike, and then there's also funding, advertisers, Amazon's own issues. Like there's so many issues that come into the play here that whether they decide to drop millions on or however much investment they put on acquiring Psychopaths, at the end of the day, Psychopaths was something that was created outside of them, completely on its own, and it was great. So I have no qualms where it's like, hey, even if Amazon doesn't make it, right? Let's say they acquire it, they forgot it. There's probably an exclusivity contract of like 10 years or something that prevents the creator from putting out this thing. But does that mean that they're not working on that? No, we've heard of other examples where that has happened, where I think even the Avatar, The Last Airbender people, they were essentially locked in a certain situation like that, where it's like they couldn't use their rights to the thing, but Nickelodeon also didn't renew their project until like the year. So like the reason why each season felt bad thereafter was because they were only renewed for one single season, but at the same time they didn't have the full rights to a lot of their things, and so that caused a lot of issues when it came to like making the live action. But on the side, if you read the comics are cracked. Like the comics that came after the Avatar Last Airbender were so dope, but they weren't approved for that. And it was all because they heard like the female antagonist of Korra. So they were like, we don't believe in this, right? So like now the writers are in a lock in. There's so much nuance to that thing. But like even I think Ben 10 also suffers the same thing. Ben 10 was one of my favorite universes. It sucked to know that the studios fucked them over, but And so like I'm sure Psychopaths, like one way or another, is gonna come back,
I
because
hope
like
so.
you don't make 3 seasons, get acquired by Amazon, and then not like continue, given the way the ending of season 3 was. Also the precedent of how they squeezed out the movies and the alternative version of season 1. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like something that the creators would want to drop. And now, because of this conversation, I am more motivated. And hey, maybe there's someone in our community that is more knowledgeable on it, and maybe
Hey, I hope so. I've seen so many good animes and like everything just fall after acquisitions. So I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if like we just never see it. But 12 years is your date.
I think 12 years, because the other part of it is the reason why a lengthy time makes sense to me is because I feel like, just off the top of my head, when I have heard of like these exclusivity contracts when it comes to like these IPs, it's usually like a decade, isn't it not? Like it's like a decade or 15 years, something like that. And then that's why you end up getting like a decade. Oh, this thing returned after a decade. It's because it like they needed to wait for some contract to expire. And then, like something falls in line and then ends up working out. But you know, I feel like especially when it comes to Amazon and Netflix, I'm sure there had to be exclusivity of like a decade or something like that. They're not
Oh,
buying something for a
we're goobers. There's a Psychopaths movie that comes out less than a month ago.
perfect. I'm pretty I'm pretty sure. See, that's how confident
Wait,
I was. I didn't even know about that.
no, yeah, I didn't know about this either. Wait, yeah, it was literally like yeah, it was 1 month ago,
See,
and
that's
it's
how
it's
strong
it's
the
airing
vision
in
is.
Japan.
That's how strong the vision is, guys. Like I don't even need to know that to predict the past. That's how cracked I was. Where it's like, listen, look, and now think about it. How are movies being used in the anime industry? They're used to like preface a season. Like now, sometimes it's the beginnings of the season. Oh my god, wait, my heart is wait, you don't even know how much my heart is racing right now.
You were scared for a second. You're like, oh god.
No, 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 no. I'm exhilarated. Like Psychopaths movies weren't my favorite because they were
Wait,
kind of
why?
like they were good. They were good. Don't get me wrong, but they were like the Psychopaths movies were like too short to embody like everything, the depth of what they try to cover, and they tried to do a lot, and it was too foreign for what they were doing, and it wasn't like, didn't feel canon either. Um, but this is a different time. This is a post Amazon movie. Oh, oh my god! Wait, I haven't heard. Oh, I have shivers now. Oh my god! Wait, guys, I might
Um,
watch party this.
so Psychopaths was not acquisition by Amazon though.
But they what I from what I remember, it wasn't like it was the they allowed freedom, but they took distributions, and I think they also
They do
had
not have distribution.
they definitely did. They definitely did, because it
Toko.
was only released on Prime. I remember that being such a
So
shitty
yeah.
situation.
So Psychopath season 3 is
Yeah.
exclusive on Amazon. Season 1 and 2 is still free game. But as
Yes. Yeah.
far as distribution now, the original company Toko has the rights still. So it looks like they just got season 3.
Man,
So Amazon is not
there's
like behind this. It's still, from what it seems, it's still
there's
the original studio.
that, which is
Psychopath is
great.
kind of
Which
a
is
rabbit
great.
hole. Yeah, no, that's good.
No, 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 that's great. But so there's a lot that I in this conversation, I only spoke on things that I remember on. But recently, I learned from a few people that I didn't sign NDAs, but technically in the air I did. There's certain things I can't say, even when this thing comes out. But there was certain things that like we as viewers and as the public will never know about. Will never know about that. Like was behind the scenes in terms of IPs, because you could say like, yes, Amazon is not distributing, they don't own it, but that does not necessarily mean that they aren't controlling the situation. Given how powerful Amazon is, and the parallel example I'm talking about of how powerful this entity is, that they're able to do this despite not even being the creators, I'm like, they can do that? And they're like, yeah, they can.
So, doing a research, Amazon, they own the license for season 3, but 2023 going forward, it's back to the original company. Even distribution is too. Distribution for Psychopaths season 3 was actually still the original company. They just sold the license for season 3 though. Which is interesting.
I'll tell you off call what I'm talking about, because what I'm hearing right now is like, it's kind of like, it's still Amazon to me. It's still Amazon, considering, because woo, I'll tell you off the call though, because I can't say some of these things. Actually, no, I'm not telling you off the call. We're not gonna talk about this ever, because I signed a brief NDA. I mean, these people aren't gonna see this.
No, that's all good. I don't mind.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. But you know, it's funny because earlier on you said like, you know, I hope that this whatever topic we're talking about is super interesting.
How many movies?
I thought there was
Psychopaths have?
3 or 4.
3, yeah. Well, 4 now, yeah, but
yeah,
dang,
3. I think the first one was good. Second one was eh. Third one was really cool, but it wasn't like canon. And then the third season came out, and I was like, wait, that was real? We were supposed to remember that? That shit was so long ago. I might be wrong in the timeline, but I'm pretty sure that was what I remember. And now a fourth one, given how season 3 ended, I'm not even ready. The fact that they
would you still want to live
about then
in that world?
Yeah, because I think I'd be, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I think I'd be a 0. I'd be a 0 person there.
I'd want to be an enforcer.
You'd want to be in it? Yeah, you would be an enforcer though. That like you are like anyone who watches the show, in the first episode they describe what an enforcer is, and that's what. Wait, the enforcer is the criminal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the first episode. They describe what an enforcer is, and then you're just like, wait, that's just Psy. That literally
I watched it and I was like, man, this is like an ideal world for me. I feel like that would be such a playground.
They just profiled you. They just so literally good. Profiled you.
That's why I really like Psychopaths, because it's like they have a lot of cool concepts in there.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be a 0 coefficient person. That's why. I feel like my wife would be too, which is interesting. Which says a lot about what 0 coefficient people might be like, because it's not all the same. You could be different or a 1. There's 0 and 1, which you guys don't know the context of.
They're hitting us with the binary.
Yeah, you definitely got to go check that out, because it's a lot. Oh my god, I can't even focus anymore.
I was about to say, speaking of gotta go, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. None of this was the thing that I want to talk about, because the thing that I want to talk about was the wildfire situation. Hey,
the wildfire, it'll still be raging on by next week, all things considered.
I'm cleared, but yeah, I was gonna, because there was something that I realized that I don't even know if it's safe for the internet, but we'll save it for next time.
It's
just remind me.
Not even safe for the internet. That sounds so ominous.
No, because I typed it in the chat, like where in the stream that I was in, where they were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should take away this comment. Like, this is dangerous.
It's like self-immolation.
Yeah. So, you know, the topic that I left the video on is psychos. If this conversation told you anything, Psy and I are definitely psychos wanting to live in Psychopaths world. Go watch that. We'll watch the.
I feel like we've been like the #1 hype man for Psychopaths, and only us.
Yeah, I mean, I literally spent like 30 minutes talking about me believing in this, something that would, if it didn't exist even in 15 years, I'd still believe in it, only to find out that everything was validated because the movie came out last month.
Yeah. The craziest part is that I'm surprised Amazon doesn't like outright, like maybe they do like behind the scenes, like a boogeyman, like a serial train molester grabbing its left ass cheek on the side. But I'm surprised that Amazon isn't like publicly owning it anymore. They didn't want to buy the rights for anything else onwards.
So the movie situation might be interesting. All I can say is words are powerful. Words are very, very powerful, especially written on paper. And I feel like that connected to earlier things that we talked about. Oh, yeah, videos are powerful. Words that you say online are powerful. Words are permanent. People in the past can convince others to stone people to death. And let's just say the equivalent could be happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon was stoning our favorite creators to death. And that's what they're doing on Twitch.
Amazon is grabbing everybody by the cock and balls.
You know what's crazy? This conversation did wrap around. At first, we were slandering them with Twitch, and then we ended with them buying like one of our favorite series of all times and what they might be doing with it. So, hey, another episode wrapped perfectly like a cake. Thank you guys for tuning in for the 50/50. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep. Hope you guys have a great day. Try not to get caught up in the wildfires.